I'm so excited to be doing another video that was recommended by a member of the QuickStart Clarinet Community. Today I want to talk about when you sort of reach a plateau in your improvements as you're practicing, or what I sort of like to call a rut, where you don't feel super good about how things are going and how to get out of those ruts so you can continue improving. So like I said, this video was recommended by a member of the QuickStart Clarinet community, but is actually recommended in an email instead of in the comments on the YouTube videos. And I encourage you all to leave comments with videos that you want to hear, but it's extra special when it comes from a member of the community. So go ahead and look in the description and find a link to join the official QuickStart Clarinet community, where you'll be able to email me your questions and recommend videos, ask questions, and get even more awesome clarinet playing information straight to your email by being part of the official community. So I'm sure you've all experienced this sort of like natural cycle in your practicing and your improvement, where maybe for a week or a month or longer you'll feel like your practicing is really efficient, you're doing a really good job, you're getting so much better, you're learning a lot, you're really starting to feel comfortable and like you're really understanding how to play the instrument. But sure enough, no matter how long you're on that like high peak and feeling the improvement, eventually you'll hit a plateau or even like a rut where you'll feel bad about things and you don't want to play, you don't really feel like you're getting better anymore, and that's very natural and normal. And I want to talk about 3 different kinds of what I call practice ruts that we tend to get in and how to overcome those. So the first kind of practice rut is probably the one that we're the most familiar with, and this one like really feels like a rut, where I call it the I hate everything sort of kind of phase or plateau. And this is when you're still practicing and you still like get into the practice room, but when you're playing you just feel like everything is bad, like your reeds are never working, you don't like the way that you sound, and just nothing is going well, and it doesn't feel like you're making improvements, and you're sort of just like banging your head against the wall doing the same things over and over, and just like everything feels bad. You hate everything. The thing to do when you're in the sort of I hate everything practice rut is to go back to the basics and go back to simple things. First, with reeds, it definitely is a good idea to try to maybe break in some new reeds. This kind of rut can happen a lot when your reeds are just all dead. You may not even necessarily think that your reeds are bad, but if everything's feeling bad all the time, it could be because you're playing on dead reeds or just bad reeds. So breaking in some new reeds is a great way to get through this sometimes. If your reeds are feeling good, then most things will start feeling better. So definitely break in some reeds and try some new reeds. Maybe even trying a different brand can help get you out of this, a different brand or a different strength that will make it easier to play and help get you out of the I hate everything rut. The other thing that can help a lot and is sort of related to reeds and actually can help your reeds feel better too, is really spending a lot of time on warm-up exercises. I feel like I really get into this rut when I have to learn a lot of music and I'm just sort of get into the practice room and like start shedding notes because I have so much to learn, and I don't spend a lot of time to really like warm up and get the sound going. I find that when I do good long tones and really have a warm-up, everything feels better to play and I get out of that I hate everything mode again. Whereas when I don't warm up at all, it's just nothing feels good to play again. It's just the same as playing on bad reeds, and you get hating everything really quick, which is a bad place to be because it doesn't feel satisfying to play. It's hard to express your musical ideas. So definitely make sure that you're playing on good reeds, and make sure that you are doing a good warm-up so you're getting the clarinet playing going well, so that you can try to get out of that I hate everything rut. Now on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the like I love everything kind of rut. This might be more of like a plateau rather than a rut. It doesn't feel bad. You don't feel like you're playing worse. You actually feel like you're playing very well, but you might not actually be improving that much. You could also maybe think of this, rather than I love everything, it could also be like I don't know what's wrong with my playing kind of thing. And this is very common and actually often feels good because it feels good to play when you're at this point, but you're not actually improving that much. And it's still important to continue to improve even when you feel like things are going really well. So the best way to get over this plateau and continue to improve more is two things again. I think the first thing is to record yourself and listen to what you actually sound like. Recording yourself is extremely important and valuable to do, and you should always be doing more of it than you are probably. And it helps give you some real feedback about what you really sound like. If you feel like you're loving everything and everything's going really well, that's sort of the best time to record yourself because you get real feedback about how you actually sound in the recording, and you'll always sound worse in a recording than you feel like you sound in real life, and that's partially just because of the recording equipment and technology doesn't recreate exactly the same sound. But it's actually pretty close, and what you hear in the recording is probably more similar to what the audience is hearing rather than what you're hearing as you're playing. So recording yourself can be a great way to sort of open your eyes when you feel like you love everything and everything's going really well and you don't know what to fix. Listen to a recording of yourself, and then you'll really be like, oh wow, I didn't realize my articulation was so bad there. Oh, the interval between this note isn't clear or smooth or even in tune. So it can really help direct your learning and sort of make yourself your best teacher as you listen to that back and get some ideas about what you need to fix. The other thing that's really helpful and will happen especially even if you've recorded yourself and you still feel like you love everything and can't find anything to fix, then I recommend listening to some professional recordings or seeing a live performance of a really great clarinetist or a really great orchestra with a great clarinetist. So you can hear some really like top level clarinet playing and get an idea of what that sounds like and then compare that to your recording and see if you really are you really sounding as good as that professional player? Do you really feel like there's nothing you can improve that will get you closer to that level? If you really feel like your recording is matching the quality of a good professional recording, then good for you. I think the only place to go from there really is, number one, make sure you're being really honest with yourself in your recording. Number two, be satisfied because you're probably playing pretty darn well if you feel like your recording is similar to a professional recording. But number three, maybe try playing some more challenging music. That can be another great way to get out of the, like, everything feels good or I don't know what to do next to improve. Increase the difficulty of the music because that will make you learn more challenging things. So that was a sort of a bonus third tip, but to review how to get out of the I love everything rut or I don't know what needs to be better rut, you have to record yourself and listen very closely. Listen to professional recordings or listen to live professional performances. And then if you still feel like everything's really good, try some more challenging music. And that's usually will be enough to get you improving again and out of that I love everything rut or plateau. Now the final sort of practice rut that I find myself and other people getting into sometimes is potentially the worst, but easy to fix. And that's sort of the, like, I don't even want to play rut. So this one can be sometimes a little bit tricky to differentiate between the I hate everything rut. The thing with the I hate everything one is you'll still go into the practice room and you'll still like do your practicing every day and you just won't like how it feels. Whereas the I don't want to do it is more, you don't even want to like go into the practice room. You don't want to get the clarinet out. You're just not really enjoying playing at all and you don't even have like the motivation to practice. And that's okay. That sounds really scary and you feel like maybe you should be like considering quitting playing or something if you're in this rut, but it's really is okay and really normal. And I think really the best thing to do for this is to just take a break. Even though everybody says that you have to practice every day if you want to be good and become a professional, or you aren't gonna do well if you don't practice every day, it's really is important and beneficial to take a break sometimes. If your practice sessions are like feel like a huge chore and you're not enjoying it at all, then seriously take a break. Most people watching this video, and really most people in the world, are playing clarinet just for fun and for their own pleasure and own music making. And if you aren't getting that when you're practicing and when you're playing and you don't want to be doing it, then take a break. It's okay. You're not doing it for a living probably. Your income isn't reliant on it. Even if you do want to make money and make this your career eventually, it's still okay to take time off and take a break. Even if you are a professional and doing it for a living as your career, it's still okay to take a break. So I think it's important to not think of taking a break as like a massive failure. It's just another step in the journey and the process, and it's really important. If you really feel like you're not getting any enjoyment out of playing, then just take some time off. The good thing about taking time off too is it actually will increase your enjoyment when you come back to it. I always find like the best time and the most improvement happens sort of after a break, when I haven't played for maybe even a whole week, and I'm really sort of starting to like get that itch back and like really almost miss playing, and I haven't done it in a while. And then when you come back after that break, it gives you sort of the opportunity to relearn all like the fundamental stuff and get the embouchure and the air and the tongue and all of that good stuff really going very well and sort of relearning it, but also relearning it and being really enthusiastic about it. I always find after I take a break, the first day back, I feel like I sound so good, and it's always like so much fun to be playing again and like hearing that sound. So I think it's really a good idea to take a break every now and then, especially when you're in that I don't even want to do this rut. The other thing you can do while you're taking a break too is explore some other musical things. Maybe you like playing another instrument too, so you can get some more time practicing that. Or maybe you like composing, so you could do some of that. Or just listening to lots of music too, if you enjoy that. If you find yourself taking a break and never really getting that itch or desire to start playing again, or remembering how fun it is to play and coming back to it, then maybe that's the only time that you could consider moving on to something else. And I think that's okay too. This is sort of maybe a topic for another video, but just briefly, if you are ever like in a rut that's so long and you've tried all these things to get out of your rut or to continue your improvement, and you still feel like you're not getting any enjoyment out of playing, then it's okay to stop playing too. And again, this is sort of like start by taking a break and see how that goes. And I bet eventually after a week or a month or maybe even a couple months, you'll start getting that desire to play again. And at that point, you should return to it. But if you're really not enjoying it, it's okay to take a break for even longer, or maybe even stop playing for years or forever. You don't have to play just because you are a clarinet player. Your identity is totally separate from your playing. And it's okay to stop playing if it doesn't make you happy. For me, playing clarinet brings me a lot of joy, and because I know how to play well, it's really exciting and really fun, and it's cool to see all the different musical things that I can do and the different things I can express through music. So for me, it brings me a ton of joy. But if that's not the case, first of all, try some of these methods and maybe try to identify what kind of rut you're in, whether it's a I love everything and everything sounds good, or I hate everything and it feels bad, or I don't even want to be playing. Identify which one of those ruts you're in and see if you can try one of the techniques I suggested to try to get over it and continue improving. But if you don't, that's okay too. I hope this has been helpful to give you some ideas on how to get over those practice ruts or practice plateaus and continue improving. I wish you the best of luck on your clarinet playing journey, and no matter where your clarinet playing takes you, you're still a wonderful human being. And thanks so much for watching this video, and go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want notifications of new videos. I upload every Saturday morning. There's a new video about a different clarinet topic. So I'll see you in another video, and thanks so much for watching.